So ideas pop into my head, okay? So I just happen to know when it's my idea and when it's something I'm getting from the other side.
Would you define it as a profession, me being a medium?
I would, yeah. Well, for me, it's what I do full time for a living, so I would define it as a profession, yes.
Yes. And what do you think about, those people who say, okay, when you have an extrasensory gift, you should also give it out for free. You're not supposed to make money out of it.
Yeah, for me, what I say to that is that if somebody is incredibly gifted at singing or incredibly gifted at sports, are they giving it out for free? No, they use their gifts that they've been given to make a living. It's the same with this kind of gift.
Do you switch it on and off, or it's something that...
Yeah, so for me, it takes a lot of energy to do readings. So yes, when I'm not doing a reading, it's like they're still there. I just am kind of ignoring them, I guess. So it's just like, okay, no, I have to do like earthly things, like my regular human life things. So I can't get distracted, because like for me, when I'm working, it feels like I'm here, and I'm also partly on the other side. So it gets me kind of like a floating feeling. And in order to do my stuff here, I've got to come back into fully my body. I have sat in readings where there's like a little bit of a block. I think that's an energy exchange between the reader and the client, and once you kind of get going, it usually clears out. Unless sometimes somebody asks something that, truly I can't get an answer for, and I tell them, I just say, hey, I don't know why, but there's no information on this.
So does it help for you to know a little bit of the people who come to you?
I personally don't like to know anything about the clients. I don't even really need to know their names. I feel for me, the less I know, the better. Because I feel like when you know stuff, that gets your brain involved. And I don't want to be thinking, I want to be feeling.
How did you get involved with Erik and channeling Erik channel?
So at the time, I was working in a town called Casadega in Florida, and a client of mine had come in, and she was a fan of channeling Erik. So she told me about it, and she set it up with Elisa. She said, Elisa, you got to meet this medium. And so I didn't know anything about channeling Erik. I had never heard of it. And so Elisa and I met on Skype and did a video, and kind of just went from there. I almost didn't actually do it. I got nervous, and I almost was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But I'm so glad I did, because it's been life-changing for me.
In which way it's been life-changing?
Okay, so I have quite a bad disorder with anxiety. I have a really bad anxiety disorder, and I almost didn't do it because I was scared. I'd never done videos or worked on camera or anything, and I almost at the last minute was like, you know what, no, I'm not going to do it. But at this point, I had met Erik, and he just was like, no, you have to. Like, you have to. And for anybody who knows him, he can be relentless sometimes. So he called me a chicken shit a few times, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll just do it. And I had to take medication, to calm my nerves, to be able to just, do the first video. And then since then, it's been over a year and a half now, and at first I was having to use beta blockers and stuff for the anxiety, and I don't need to anymore. And I also this is really weird, and I thought of it yesterday, I was also really afraid to fly, and I would have to take like Valium or something to fly, and the last 8 times I've flown, I don't need anything to fly. So it's really helped a lot with my anxiety.
What was your first encounter with Erik?
So my first encounter was when my client told me about it. She said, when you go home today, look up channeling Erik. And I sat down at my computer and I pulled the blog up, and he said I shot myself in the head before I had read anything about what had happened to him. And so then I was reading, and that was my first introduction to him.
Did you hear it in your mind?
I do, yeah. Almost everything that happens to me happens within the boundaries of my body. I'm not a huge fan of stuff happening outside my body, although I have seen on numerous occasions, you know, ghosts or spirit guides in the body form. It's not my favorite thing. So.
Would you like to tell me more about your psychic abilities and when you were aware of them and when did it all start?
So, actually, what's interesting is I guess I've always had it. I never really lost it. But when I was in I think my late 20s, I was doing a massage on a client. I'd worked as a massage therapist since I was 18. And I would tell clients stuff, you know, I'd pick up on information and I would, you know, give them information and stuff. I never thought of it as being psychic or a medium. And so one time I was working with a client and I was saying all this stuff about her mother and her father, and I'm saying, I don't really know why I know all of this. And she looked at me and she's like, you're a medium. And I thought, oh yeah, that makes sense. So then when I looked back on my life, I was, you know, really intuitive, like when I was younger, and, you know, I'd get a bad feeling about something, I would just kind of pay attention to it, or, you know, certain energies of people. But I never thought of it. I never thought of it as having a gift or an ability. It was just kind of who I was. Yes, I have had to deal with skeptics. For me personally, I don't spend a whole lot of time trying to convince skeptics, because I have always looked at it like I don't care if you believe, so I'm not going to try to convince you. Like, there's a lot of information out there. If you don't believe, it's because you're not ready. And for as nervous of a person as I am, skeptics have never really bothered me.
Because you're a medium, so you connect with the afterlife.
Yes.
What does death mean to you? What's your idea about death?
I consider it going home.
Would you like to elaborate a little?
Yeah, the physical body dies, but the soul just returns to our reality. Spiritual beings having a physical experience type of thing. So it's not death to me. Doing what I do for as long as I've done it, I have not ever met a soul like Erik, and I consider like the people on the other side like to be my friends and stuff. Like I have, like when I came here this weekend, I was like, okay, like I reached out to some of my souls on the other side. I'm like, you got to come with me. Like you have to show up. But Erik, and it's just part of what the work that they're supposed to be doing, he can connect to so many people, because I personally know people who are like, and I never told them about Erik, but I was like, hey, check this out. And they're like, you know, I swear he like came to me when I was reading about it, and I hadn't told him that he has the knack to do that. So it's just, there's clearly something he's supposed to be doing as far as kind of bringing light to the world. It's remarkable. It really is remarkable to be a part of it. And it's like, for the Channeling Erik family, it's very powerful. The information that comes, at least for me, I really can only speak for myself, it has to come in a frame of reference that I understand. So if something's coming to me that I have no frame of reference for, it's going to make the message really difficult for me to interpret, like, accurately. Because if I have no frame of reference, I'm like, okay, I know I'm getting something, but I don't quite understand what it is. So if somebody else has a different frame of reference, maybe they could get the information quicker, because they have something to kind of go on. Like you get a flash of an image and it's like, okay, that means something to me, but it might mean nothing to another medium. And then also, you know, the fact of the matter is that we are human. And so sometimes if we're having a bad day or we've just had a fight, you know, it prevents us from maybe making the connection as quickly. And personality plays a big role in it. I tend to be a very kind of low-key person. I'm not super animated, so when I deliver a message, it's pretty blunt, and I usually do it with as few words as possible. Whereas somebody else might have, you know, a lot of flourish and a lot of flair, and so the message might come across a little differently. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you able to see auras, colors around people? No. Or
No.
You said that you don't see spirits around people.
I I don't. What I mostly am is what's called claircognizant. So ideas pop into my head. Okay. So I just happen to know when it's my idea and when it's something I'm getting from the other side. I'm also empathic and clairsentient, so I'll get physical sensations in my body. Personally, for me, a long time ago, I sort of set up parameters that's like, hey, I'm okay with the communication, but like I'm gonna stay in charge of my body, you stay over there, and we'll do it like that. And I don't really like a whole lot happening outside my body. Now, I've seen spirits, I've seen orbs, I actually saw them. It's just not my preferred way of getting information. You walk around the corner and there's like a being standing there as 6 feet tall. It startles me. I scare easily. So I went through a phase where I would wake up and one of my spirit guides would be standing right at the head of my bed. And the problem was I thought, okay, there's like an adult here that I don't know standing right at my bed. I'm about to be attacked. And that was what bothered me. So then now I know that they're there, but they don't show themselves to me like that.
So you are in Erik's house. Ever since you came to this house, do you feel his presence here?
Yeah, so I've been here before, and I was in his room last time, and for me that's very difficult because I can feel the sadness that he was feeling at the moment of his passing. So the rest of the house, I'm pretty good at disconnecting, but in his room I can feel his pain there. Sorry.
Taking a moment because now I went blank. I felt
the intensity of it. Yeah. He's, because I can. He's kind of teasing me a little bit because he's like, "Don't be a baby. It's fine. It's fine." But for me, I can tap right into that moment, and that's what.
So right now he's.
Yeah. He's like, don't be a baby. Like, it's fine. I'm fine. Like, suck it up. You're good. And he's like, plus, your face is gonna get red. You're gonna be all self-conscious. That he's just teasing me. So it's fine. But he says, but your eyes do get really blue when they tear up. So like, okay. So he's kind of whipped me right back up out of it.
Yeah. So if I ask you a question right now, and I ask him a question right now, he will answer to you?
Let's see.
Just, I've been very tense ever since.
Yeah, it's immediately as you start talking, before you even say it, I feel sick to my stomach.
Whoa.
I feel some sickness, some nausea.
Yes.
What he's saying, I don't even know if this was your question, but what he's saying is like your like flora and fauna are not right in your stomach. So you need like some acidophilus or something to settle that down. There's something going on there.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So, like to increase the acidic.
Yeah. It's like your pH is off.
Oh my God, he's so on point actually.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
totally on point because I know that this is what is going on.
Yeah. Yep. So you've got to balance out that.
And also I've been having a lot of cramps at night. Is it because of lack of potassium or magnesium?
Yeah, because he says your water intake is actually pretty good. Your hydration is actually pretty good. He just showed me bananas. So your potassium, maybe just eat some bananas.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, I'll do that. Thank you, Erik.
He just kind of bowed.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So yesterday I went to film into your room, and I cannot feel you because I feel like in order for me to do this job.
Yeah, he says you can't do your work. You wouldn't be able to do your work if you could feel me. And he says I have purposely put a block for you, so you can do this. You wouldn't be able to otherwise.
Yeah. So now that you are talking to me and translating him, you are translating, he is giving you images or actually words?
He flashed the bananas to me, so I did have images, but it's mostly just words. So that's where like if you were sitting with another medium asking these exact same questions, you might get a little different flair on the answers, okay? Like I said, I'm pretty direct. So when I get information, I just, boom, I just give the information like I'm getting it, because that's how I work. I just am very, from here, out my mouth. If you're working with somebody else, there might be more. They might be swearing. He likes to swear. I'm not a big swearer. So I've asked him many, many times, I'm like, let's keep the swearing to a minimum, where another medium might just boom, boom, boom with the swearing. I get uncomfortable and nervous with all the swears. So I don't even know why. Like I just do. I just always have. Like, I feel like I'm like still like 6 years old. I'm like, oh my God, I can't say a swear word. Like, who's gonna yell at me? Nobody. So.
Okay. Okay, that was amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was fun. I survived.
Yes, you did. Actually, we went into it like very organically.
Well, once I actually get working, see, so like what I do for work, I've got the anxiety, and then for me, when energies come in, see, like they vibrate, the other side vibrates. Everything has a vibration. Stones, people, animals, plants, we all have a vibration. And as humans, our vibration can go up and down based on, positive or negative things happening in our life, or whatever you want to call it. But the other side vibrates at such a high rate. For me, this is how I put it. It's like the higher our vibration is, sometimes the easier it is for us to sense them. Okay, since I'm sensitive to them and their vibration is so high, when they start coming in, I get really even more anxious. But once I get working, it's almost like Erik said, it's like putting a weighted blanket right on your head. I don't know why he said it like that. Like it just brings me right into the energy, and then I have no trouble, and all my anxiety goes away. So it's interesting, but it amps up right before.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think that anxiety, depression usually is connected to being open, psychically open?
Yeah, it definitely can be, for sure, because if you're empathic and you're sensitive to the energy, yeah, sometimes you might be picking up somebody else's energy, somebody else's anxiety, somebody else's depression, somebody else's physical body pains, and you don't really know it. But yes, if you're sensitive to the other side, like I said, that vibration being so high, it's intense. It's as if a drill sergeant's like kind of like right in your face yelling at you. It's like, oh, what's happening? I don't know what to do. And if you don't realize that's what's happening, you don't realize you can say, hey, like, I know that you're around. Your energy's making me a little bit nervous. Can we like calm that down? So absolutely, it can absolutely contribute to that for sure.
We're done.
Okay, good. I know, like I'm like a wreck. Like at first I'm like, oh God, like a deer in headlights. But once I get going, I'm usually fine.